Hello there, lovelies. Thank you for tuning in. I've got a bit of a different video for you today. So I'm not sort of like speaking into the camera, but you're going to be um, seeing sort of like the two incense sticks there burning away, and then you've got the two candles here that are lit and burning away. And so this is all very relevant to obviously the energies that are already happening and what's going on. And so the two, what that's symbolizing is Gemini, because Gemini is the double twins, as you may know, you may be aware. So here you can see that I've got the two incense sticks to reflect the two parts of Gemini, and then here the candles, obviously representing each of the twins for the Gemini. And Gemini is an air sign, and so the smoke going up is reflective, obviously, of the element of air with the Gemini. And so with the candles, it's because we have got the sun in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. So, because obviously Gemini is also in Sagittarius at the moment, so Gemini and the Sun in Saggy. Okay, so I'll start off with that actually because Gemini is the ruling planet. All right, sorry, Mercury is the ruling planet for Gemini. Mercury. And Mercury is all about obviously our thought process, thinking, thoughts that are going on, our mental state. And so, with it being in Saggy, the mental state makes it quite philosophical. Hence, a alter kind of atmosphere, because it made me feel quite sort of philosophical, and in a way the thought process, the state that I wanted to be in was, kind of like a sacredness, which is what I've created here. So, and also the full moon is happening round about, I would say, 11th, 12th of December. So we're almost there. You should already be feeling the effects happening. And then obviously it doesn't just stop there. You keep feeling the effects afterwards for a good week or so, I would say. And the other thing is, oh my God, wow, this is actually our last full moon of the year. And for this year, 2019. But also, what is also amazing is that it is also the last full moon of this decade. So we start a new decade in January 2020, the first year of a new decade. So can you see, like, when you have the twins, the Gemini twins, you have a two, where we can see that one is maybe kind of reflecting on this decade, this year, reflecting on everything that's gone on and what's been happening. And then here you've got, and it's interesting how these candles were both the same color, but in the video, this one looks a lot lighter, interestingly. And that looks more yellowy. How interesting. And you could see that Mercury is, a yellowy color as well. So interesting. So this one we said was to do with like the past and what's going away, moving away. And this one coming in for 2020. And so this this candle is showing a lot of light. And I do feel that, as we head into 2020, 2020 is going to be a year of a lot of light feeling. All right. So a lot of the heaviness we've been feeling for the last 5 years, in this decade, we're going to start 2020 with a lot of light coming in, especially for those of you who have been doing your inner work. If you have been doing your inner work, you should start to see a lot of the lightness already happening. It's almost like the fruits of your labor are going to be sort of like coming in. Okay, so a lot of reflecting, this energy here, reflecting time going on. And I would say also that maybe some of this reflection is the Pisces that is still in, the Neptune that is still in Pisces. So that's kind of quite still, our emotional sensitivity and, the vast openness and our psychic awareness and generally sort of going beyond the beyond, I would say. But it's also about reflecting, So there may be kind of like feelings of nostalgia there as well. But definitely some reflection going on over looking back and what has gone on and what's happening now, So this moon is at 19 degrees Gemini. And I thought that was interesting actually, because if you think about 19, 1, 9, and 1 and 9, it equals 10. 1 plus 9 equals 10. So again, 10, it's about like coming full circle as well. Coming full circle about some area of your life where you started and now it's like you've come back, but in a different, obviously as a different person, because there's lessons that have been learnt. So, it's coming back, but also the zero completion. So we can say here the zero completion and the one coming on to new beginnings. Okay, so the new beginnings, obviously completing then the new beginning, which is the, new year, not just the new year, but also the new decade. And, where that will be taking us, interestingly. So yeah, this Christmas, I recommend that you take some time out because of the reflection that I mentioned earlier. Because the Neptune is also, because I said the sun was in Sagittarius, which is obviously the fire that I've lit, and even the incense, that's the fire. So yeah, the sun and Neptune, there's an aspect there. So it could be that you might need some time out. You might be feeling drained, and obviously with even if you don't celebrate Christmas, obviously it is going on everywhere and around you and the shops and online everywhere. So, the energy is still there. And if you do celebrate it, you've got the added stress, obviously, that, making sure everything's right. So taking some time out is important because you may start to feel physically quite drained. There might be this kind of like a bit of a burnout feeling because really the Neptune is water. And the water, it kind of puts the fire out a little bit. Yeah, so it is quite important to keep that balance there, all right? But on the other hand, you have got the sun in Saggy and also Mercury, as I said earlier, and those being in Saggy, it is about having some fun as well. So, party time, obviously, again, as I said, Christmas, parties going on. It's about boundaries, okay? Not overdoing it because of the Neptune zapping, the fire. So do everything in moderation. Yes, party a little bit here and there, but take some rest as well. Take some time out. You do need fun as well. It's all part of it, and it's important, and especially this time of the year. So yeah, definitely have some fun and get partying a little bit. So coming on to 2020. Most people are sort of thinking about, the 2020 vision, and we should have a vision every day, realistically. Every morning when we wake up, there should be a vision for the day. But obviously, then, we start looking at the short term goals and then the longer term goals. And so we can say that, yeah, the 2020 vision is maybe part of our longer term goal. And so, what I'd like to say is that as part of that energy, we have now got 4 planets in Capricorn, and Jupiter is now in Capricorn because it was in Saggy, for a whole year. So with these 4 planets now in Capricorn, wow, we're looking at themes. Responsibility is obviously a big one. Christmas is always a big responsibility anyway. And planning is one of those areas of Capricorn. Building, goal setting, home and family are important. Property and business are important. Relationships are important. Money is important. It's about building on what is important to you, your values and your resources. It's about building and going for, what you feel is important for you. So create that, make the lists, make goals. What is it you want to happen in 2020? Make it happen. And with the Mars in Scorpio, it's giving you that drive, that determination, to take action and do what it is you need to do. It's at 15 degrees, and I have got Mars in Scorpio natally in my chart, and I find that you know I've also got Neptune, what I was talking about earlier, conjunct Mars. So yes, the Neptune does put the fire out because Mars is also a fire planet. Gives you that drive, that passion. So sometimes, I have a lot of it, but sometimes I feel the Neptune just drains it out and puts it out. But then when it does that, I use it usefully because I go within. And maybe that's, why that combination is there for me. So it's always important to know what is going on in your chart exactly, what degrees the planets are in, and what signs and houses they are in, and what aspects they make. And especially when we have things like the full moon come up, what degrees and angles and aspects are they making for you in your chart? That's very important. So, I'm Jaswinder Chally, and I am an astrologer and psychotherapist and shamanic practitioner. I love coaching people on their birth chart and energies. I look at elements as well because the chart is made up of elements. Fire, water, earth, air, space. So I do a lot of work around that psychotherapeutically on a one-to-one and in groups. And I do lots of these sort of things like, create altars, sacred spaces. It's all part of my work, what I do. I love doing this sort of work. I love creating, and I'm so passionate about it. And this is that Mars in Scorpio that gives me that passion and that drive to want to do things like this because it's in the 12th house. And the 12th house is about, spirituality and sacredness and that sort of thing. So that's why it's really interesting to learn and know and understand yourself and the relationship we have with the planets. It's about trying to, kind of know how the energies are working, and then letting those energies work for you, in that way, which is, aligning yourself universally to those energies, which is were, 100% sort of tuning into the universe, the cosmos, the cosmic energies, I've helped so many people awaken to consciousness, awareness through understanding planets and charts and things like this, the elements. And so I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I'll be back with another video very soon. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, happy holidays, and a happy new year 2020 and into the new decade. Happy 2020 decade. So if I don't do another video before Christmas, I think I will do one for Christmas. But if I don't, because obviously, with the energies, lots of work going on, then definitely will be here for you in January. So look after yourself, take care, lots of love, and speak to you soon.